So let's start this lesson so you can see how it works from your end, from a teacher and from a student perspective. So before we start this lesson, let's go ahead and look at this hamburger menu, which can kind of be obscure and maybe you can look past it pretty easily, but a lot of times there are important things in that hamburger menu. So let's click on that. This shows how Pear Deck works. So if you want more information, you can publish and share this lesson requiring student logins. So if you want the students to be able to only log in with their email, you can do that. And then if you would like to review the sessions, which I think is pretty handy, you can go to the Pear Deck website and see all the lessons that you've created within Pear Deck, and you can even preview them there. So let's go ahead and click out of the hamburger menu. We're going to start this lesson. So the first thing they ask is if you want it to be student-paced or instructor-paced, and this is something you can even change after you start the lesson really easily. So I'm going to say I want the students to follow me, so instructor-paced. So then you're going to see the join code. So it has the joinpd.com. That's what the students could type in their web browser, and then they will have to enter this code. So the KFREUT, and you can even see the clever mnemonic device that they have there, so you can actually see what the letters are or know what the letters are. So let me show you this from both perspectives. So one on the left-hand side, you can see the teacher. On the right-hand side, you can see the student, and this is kind of a condensed version. Hopefully it shows you everything you need. So I'm going to type in on that right-hand side, KFREUT. Don't even have to enter spaces. Don't even have to press enter. I'm just going to type in a test email. So type that in, type in the password. Students wouldn't have to do this if they're working from their Chromebook. It should automatically populate. So it's just going to be a little bit longer than what they would have to do. And then from here, it asks this initial question, and it just simply always asks this. Students don't have to answer it. They can skip it, or they can answer it. So let's see what it looks like when it loads. So once you enter, so the student can see the slide. So I just need to hit start class. All right, so as I slide through or scroll through these slides on the left-hand side from the teacher perspective, you can see that the slides will change on the right-hand side, which is the student perspective. So on this one, it's asking students to create a mind map or start a mind map. So on this side, I would have the option to select a color. I can select a pencil, highlighter, and some other writing options there. And then I can draw on this slide, which is something that you would typically not be able to do with a Google slide if it were simply a Google slide. Now, another tool which is kind of out of the way is the size here. So right now, this is a fairly thick line, but if I slide this down a little bit, that makes it just a little bit thinner and gives me a little bit more space that I can utilize when I'm drawing whatever I want to there. And then if drawing can be kind of clunky when you're using a mouse, so text could be a valuable tool there as well that you can add. You can type in whatever you want. So just type in something real quick so you can see what it looks like, and then you can drag that around. So from the teacher perspective, so once you're done with that, you can actually lock it from your end. So if you want students to, okay, let's stop on this slide and see what we have, you can lock it, and the students lose the editing access there. And you can always go back and look at this later as well. So then if I want to progress to the other slides, so here you can't actually see the whole piece of it. So it shows on my end true, false. And then over here, I made this like a multiple choice question. So off to the right-hand side, again, this is from the student perspective. You just select an option. And then you can move to the next slide. So that's like a multiple choice question. This one is dragging an icon. So drag a marker to how you're feeling. If you want to take this little thumb and bring it to wherever you want, and then you stop it there. Moving to the next slide, this one you're just entering a number So you just have a field where you can enter a number. So I feel like a 10 today. Go ahead and exit that, and the teacher can go ahead and keep moving forward. So on this one, the teacher's asking to graph a line. So you could actually use the writing tool to graph lines if you want. Gotta make sure I'm on the pencil. So if I'm going to graph a line, let's go ahead and put a point there. We'll draw a line through it, and let's say that's the line. So you could do that. You could use creatively. This is something I just pulled from the template library. You could pull this or draw a line from the picture to wherever this is being represented on the map. So another way to utilize this, you can circle however you want to. So writing is a tool, again, you wouldn't have normally in Google Slides, but you do if you use Pear Deck. And then there's that last question that we added at the end. So again, you can use text to add information to each question. And then once you are done, let's go ahead and open this back up so you can see all the teacher information. So you have the option to add notes. You can show all the responses on the board or your smartboard or clever touch or whatever board you're using. You can again lock the screens. If you lock the screens, that removes student editing access. And then this little shish kebab menu here, you have some other options there as well. So if you want to turn on student pace so students can move through this and finish it at their own pace, you can do that. And then if you do that, you could always go back to making this teacher paced as well. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit of an idea what Pear Deck could do for you in the classroom. If you have any questions on this or anything else, or there's any way that I can help you use Pear Deck in the classroom, please let me know. Thanks.